Howdy, Shasta College, Humanities 2, Humanities through the early modern ages. How's it going out there? It's getting cold. I feel snow. Maybe we'll have snow for Christmas. I don't think so, but we need some clouds for that. But it feels that way. It's dipping down at night. I could tell because my cats hang on to me all the time. They're spoiled. They're just using me for my food and for my body heat. Wow, they've got it dialed in. They really do. They know how to survive. Anyway, this is the last lecture of this weird semester, the first completely online semester. I did a summer school online, but that was 7 weeks or 6 weeks. This was a whole 17 weeks, a whole 9 yards. Hope you got something out of the class. Hope you, it wasn't too torturous, these lectures and all the assignments. And I know everybody's panicked right now because school is over. It ends tomorrow officially. And your papers, I closed off Canvas already. And I'm getting a lot of people wondering why they can't get onto Canvas. Well, because I signed those papers weeks ago and I put a due date and an end date. Yes, school gets off Friday, but I was hoping to get all your papers a little earlier so I could jump on the grading aspect of these things. You know how slow I am on the grading. And now people are going to flood me with late submissions to my email. Well, that's what you got to do. If you're late, submit it to my email, rexhaas@yahoo.com, and you will lose points for being late. You've had plenty of time. If you've misunderstood a lecture or didn't read the instructions right, I can't be there to do it all for you. We're not in class together. I can't remind you of this stuff. I can only post it, and hopefully you're all paying attention and reading the announcements. I post the announcements as often as I can, twice a week or so, maybe more. And so if you just keep abreast of those, you should do okay. On that note, I want to give this last little shout out to everybody who is working through this pandemic. I applaud you for sticking it out. It hasn't been easy. We're isolating, and then with the face mask and the whole bit. It's not over yet, folks. Yes, they have supposedly some medicine coming, but supposedly the normal average person, which is us folks, we're not going to get it until possibly March or April. So still be safe out there, still act like, because it's on. And we don't even know if the vaccine is going to be the savior. It's going to help, believe me. If you hold that note for 1 second. You want to go out, sweetheart? I'm back. Yeah, the vaccine's not here, and so we're not out of the woods yet. Hopefully, in the next, I don't know, 6-7 months, we will be, and we'll be able to go back to restaurants. You know, because I play music and I play out. I like playing in front of people. I can't do that now. Can't do a lot of things. Trying to make a film, I can't do that because nobody wants to gather in groups. So that's been difficult. In the meantime, this class is designed to give you essentially a survey trip, a journey through essentially modern humanities from around the Renaissance. And so I try to cover everything every week. Sometimes I stay on stuff too long that I might think we need to cover in more depth. I could stay on music or movies forever. Don't spend that much time on architecture, and that surprised you, right? Anyway, but I enjoyed it actually because people are always surprised how they never think about architecture or buildings. But it's part of our humanities, just like Picasso and just like Mozart and Beethoven and the Beatles and Ingmar Bergman and the great film directors of our time, Quentin Tarantino, whoever, if you think he's great. I think he's interesting. Do I think he's great? I don't actually. I think he's kind of a poser. Sorry, guys. But other than that, cinema goes on, music goes on. People are being more creative than ever, sticking their stuff on YouTube, finding ways to exist in this weird shutdown world we're living in right now. And you guys stuck it out. You stayed in class. You did your assignments. Watched these lectures. Looked at my funny artwork on the walls. And you stuck it out. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot of perseverance, and it shows that you have character. And character is everything, folks. If you don't have character, you're an empty vessel. And have your own character. Possess your own thoughts and your own way of thinking. Don't let anybody shove their thoughts into you or bully you into anything. Resist. You're very young, most of you. And the world is tough out there, folks. We see how tough it is right now, especially in this pandemic. This will pass, but it's still going to have a tough world out there. Rents are high. Jobs right now are a little bit scarce. But if you get your college diploma, it's going to help a lot. So I hope you stick to it. I don't know where you are in your college aspect, but the 4 years, 5 years goes by pretty fast, and you won't regret it. And you'll actually end up learning a lot. And that's not a bad thing. Hopefully you found out something about Van Gogh or Andy Warhol or William Shakespeare that you never thought of before. Or maybe you never thought of them at all before. Ever. Never even heard their names before. So hopefully this class gave you that. And I always like to say knowledge is power, because it is. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful you are. When people try to get into discussions and arguments with me, they have a it's a challenge, because I've been researching and exploring and educating myself all my life. And at this stage in time, I know a couple things, right or wrong, and it makes it challenging for somebody to say something foolish about Shakespeare or something foolish about Mark Twain, because, I've studied all this stuff. You're studying it now, and you'll be able to come back and go, hold on now. You'll have an antidote, hopefully. I don't know what you guys are all going to do after this. If we were in the class right now, I used to go around. What do you want to do? What's your plans? Where are you going to head out to a four-year college? I hope you do that. To a career, whether it's PG&E or nursing, or going down to work for one of the Google or Facebook or something, going to politics. Hey, that's something. Fight fires, yeah. Or be an artist. Uh-oh, that's dangerous. I also teach filmmaking, and I want to encourage you to don't let anybody back you down from a dream or a goal. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as the dream or your goal, your ambition is valid and meaningful, keep pursuing it. It gets hard. I understand. People like to say no all the time. Do you know Robert Rodriguez is the filmmaker who Remember I asked you guys to watch a 10-minute film school? His professor told him, give it up. You're never going to make it as a director, because he couldn't jump through the hoops that the professor needed him to jump through. And so he dropped out. And guess what, folks? He has a massive Hollywood career. So professors, teachers, instructors should be encouraging you, not discouraging you. It's not their job. It isn't. They say no, step aside from them. So hopefully you're not having any discouragement, and I know you will, because the world is full of discouragement and people trying to dampen down your dream. They've been dampening down my dream all my life. It's because your dreams usually can scare other people. They'd rather you conform and be what they expect you to be, because that's what they're going to be, because they're not dreaming big. They're just dreaming. Their dreams are rather safe and contained. I had a student in my last class that we had we didn't have a virtual class. It's already been a year. He was in the humanities class, and he didn't do a final paper, but he did a rap. And I let him do it. And I said, okay, it better be good, man. And it better not just be full of F-bombs and shooting guns at people and about women's big booties. And I go, if it's that, I will kick your ass out of this class. And it wasn't. The guy was a really good poet. It was really meaningful. And he got up in front of the whole class, and he had some beats on his cell phone, and he sat out there for 15 minutes and riffed. And it was really complicated, deep stuff about essentially trying to struggle and finding your hope and your dreams in your creativity. Hopefully you have some of that. It was great. And so people go, well, he didn't write a paper. No, he did something else equally as important, equally as substantial. Was I wrong to let him do that? No, I don't think so. Education's all about learning. I learn from my students. I'm just not up here yakking to hear myself talk. I learn from your papers. If we're in class together, I'd be learning from your conversation, from who you are. We don't have that right now. I'm going to do some Zoom classes next year. These classes are too large, and so it's hard to do a Zoom, and everybody doesn't have the technicality, but I'm going to start doing more of them. I know we didn't do any because I get too many students saying that they don't have the technology. They're simple as that, and it's a hassle, and I don't want to make life rougher than it already is for you guys and girls. So, the importance of humanities. I started this course with a lecture about why humanities matter. I showed you some TED Talks, why humanities matter, and even what are humanities? Because it's ongoing definition of who we are. We're constantly redefining it. When the technology changes, the humanities change. When the culture changes, humanities change. And it's always changing. It's always in flux. We just now went through this hellish election year, and now it's going to change some more. See what happens. See what's in the future. New Christmas movies are coming out, big budget movies. We're going to be watching them in our house, not at the movie theater. We'll see what that looks like. We've already seen some of those already. Maybe you have. Technology changes, the culture changes. And when I try to do in this class, as much as we can, look at what's going on in the culture. How does this define us, who we are at that point in time? And how does that define the art, the literature, the plays, the paintings, the music, the films. Dance. I didn't even do dance. I didn't have time. Architecture. When humans are at their best, the culture's at their best. And their endeavor enriches our lives, doesn't degrade our lives. And so in ancient Florence, when Michelangelo was painting Sistine Chapel, they were inventing indoor plumbing. They were inventing a sewage system. That's big time, folk. You don't want to be living in your own SHIT. You want it to move on down the road. And that's what they did. They, underneath the city, they carved. I showed you that documentary early on. It's in the book, the great textbook that I know you all loved. Made the culture better, made the city cleaner, didn't smell so bad, made everybody healthier. You don't want to live in your own excrement, people. It's not healthy. And so it was the beginning of the Renaissance, of something that elevates all of us. And so I hope you guys pursue something that elevates you and maybe some people around you. Whatever it is your endeavors are going to be. Keep working hard at it. Don't let anybody back you down from your dreams. Don't let anybody say no. Walk around from them. Unless what you're offering is something evil and vicious, then I will be the first one to say no to you. But I don't believe that. I believe in best intentions and the best good life you could get. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. Even after this pandemic, it's going to be tough, folks. So this has been a trial by the culture we live in right now. We're going to be writing about this point in time in our culture for a long time. People are writing books about this, making movies about this, painting paintings, writing music about the great pandemic of 2020. Never thought it would happen again in modern times, but guess what? It did, and it is, and we're in the middle of it. We see some light at the end of the tunnel. It's whatever makes us, doesn't kill us, does make us stronger, but it's killing a lot of people. Young and old, fat and skinny, doesn't matter. All over the world, trying times. I used to see these old pictures and videos, not videos, but old film clips of the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918. And you go, oh man, I feel so sorry for them in those days. They didn't have modern medicine like we do now. They didn't have antibiotics, barely penicillin. They were dropping like flies. And you go, God, boy, we're so lucky now. We're so much more advanced. But then we got blindsided and humbled. It's been a humbling experience. And it's made us had to, and hopefully you've examined yourself and your needs and wants and what's important to you. I hope you found some importance in the class. Hope you found something that inspired you and makes you want to do something, makes you want to break out and excel at something. Be your own person. Don't follow bullies. It's okay to walk another direction that everybody else is walking. Free and independent thought is the key to the kingdom. And the key to a creative, fulfilled life. Whether your creativity is the subjects we've covered, or it's making a great garden in your backyard, or training a horse, or So many other things you could be creative at. You know what they are. I'm just not talking about the arts here now. I'm talking about a creative life, embracing the best of who we are and getting rid of the worst of who we are. So, have a good holiday. Be kind to everybody. Expect them to be kind to you. It's the least we can expect in this jumbled up, crowded world we're living in. And during this break, think that you had the privilege of being in a class in modern times and you got to study some of the great masters that have made us who we are. It's a gift. Learning is a gift. Keep it up, folks. I'll see you next time. Maybe I'll want you to take my film class. I'll see you then. Adios, and remember to be your own person. That's where the humanities is. Anyway, see you next time.